Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hopefully everybody had a good week and best of luck at the week ahead. I wanted to hop right in and get into our weekly update. I was actually down 17.2% of my total body baseline body weight this week for a total loss of exactly 55 pounds. I'm down 17.2% of my body weight. It was 16.8% last week, so it's 17.2%. So that's just a loss of 1 pound this week, 1.1 pound. But a loss is a loss. That's how I see it. But a very interesting week because last week was Mother's Day, and me and my wife kind of went out and I took her out and kind of ate what we wanted to eat. I even had some insomnia brownies. So I was expecting to kind of gain some weight last weekend because, we still live in life and we wanted to just have, a good time. And I kind of threw caution to the wind and, just had a good time. So I actually was up 3 pounds on Monday when I checked in. Because if you recall, my last weigh-in was I want to say Thursdays. I've been doing Thursdays as my weigh-in. So basically last Thursday I was at 265. So I was 268 on Monday. So that was a gain of 3 pounds. So technically, if I do the math, 265 last Thursday, 268 this past Monday. And then when I weighed in, I did wait until Saturday because I knew, I had to have some time to get off, anything that I had gained. And I did that. So technically you could say that I lost 4 pounds, but realistically from last Thursday to yesterday, when I did my weigh-in, it would be 1 pound because I'm 264. So I lost 1.1 pound. So a loss is still a loss, you know what I mean? So my goal for, I want to say the next 2 weeks in May is to lose 5 pounds because at 264, I can be at 259 by June 1st. So, or May 31st, whatever that Sunday is. So that's realistically my goal, because, like I said, I want to be out of, I want to kind of get out of whatever weight range I'm in each month. 90, 80, 70, 60 to make it make sense for you. So if I'm in the 60s, I want to be in the 50s, if it makes sense for you when I hit June. So interesting thing though is I have had some food noise. Now I don't know if it's because I ate more sweets than I usually eat this past week, because I haven't had food noise in forever, but I did have some food noise, interestingly enough, up until today actually. I took my shot, I want to say yesterday morning, and then I had I had just throughout the week, just really odd week, and I think that kind of confirms the decision that me and the doctor made to go up to the 10 milligram when I went to my pre-authorization reevaluation last week. So I do have blood work coming up, scheduled for I believe not this Thursday after next. So Thursday after next, I'll have all my blood work done. And yeah, next week, next Saturday, we move into the 10 milligram. So, and it's kind of welcomed because, like I said, that food noise I haven't felt in a long time. Actually, kind of resurfaced a little bit this week. And again, like I said, I don't know if it's because I was kind of off my my usual dietary or nutrition that I normally do with the increased sweet stuff. So and I also didn't work out like I normally work out because I had that shoulder pain. So I kind of didn't do my I've been doing a lot of work at work, so I wasn't really too worried about it. So I've been moving quite a bit, but my traditional walk and traditional resistance training I haven't done. I let that go for about 2 weeks, so I got to get back into that this week. I'm going to start with my walking because I never try to get go full-fledged back because that's how you kind of hurt yourself. I've still been moving, still been eating right, but just not the exact exercises and things I was doing. But I am going to get back to my exact walking this week, so try to probably start at 30 minutes and increase it to to like 45 minutes. So, maybe I'll increase it to like, 2 miles a day. So I'll try that on top of my regular movement. So, because I want to say over the month, I mean, a lot of steps. I've had days where I've done 15,000, 18,000 steps. So a lot of my previous weight, I can attribute to a lot of that. But basically, I want to just, get back into the regular rhythm of stuff, so I can kind of like, stay on track, because we had a good rhythm going, and I don't want to disrupt anything. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to, starting that 10 milligram and ramping up that exercise. So over the next 2 weeks, I can lose that 5 pounds. Like I said, I'm 264 and a half. So if I can lose 5 pounds, that'll put me at 259 and a half. So that'll be tremendous, So if I can get back to that, because the last time I was actually the weight that I am right now, it was my 40th birthday. I'm 44 right now, so it's been 4 years since I was at this weight. So if I can get, I want to say 20 pounds off, that'll put me where I haven't been in, I want to say probably a little more than 10 years, maybe, since I've been like 240, 245. So yeah, so these are some of the micro goals that I have that I set, that I would like to try to get to, as I'm going, because obviously everybody knows my goal is to be 100 pounds down. So I got about 45 pounds to go. And, if I got to chuck away at it like that, then I'll chuck away at it like that. Last month I did lose 9 pounds. So if I lose 7 pounds this month, I won't be mad at it, so because, it's still, in the higher end of the scale of what they say we should be losing anyway, and that's 0.5 to 2 pounds a week. So that's 4 pounds to 8 pounds, 4 to 8 pounds a month. So, and like the super responders are losing like 12 pounds a month. But at some point, you kind of slack up on that 10 to 12, 13 pound weight loss. It's not easy. And honestly, I know it would like kind of slow down a little bit. The crazy part about those of us that lose weight fast, we kind of gain weight fast too. So, because like I said, I gained that 3 pounds. And I don't even want to say it's just, it realistically, I felt like I ate a lot more food. So that also was a part of it, and I didn't go to the bathroom a whole lot, but, I did go, but adding that much into your system, especially with these smart scales, I'm sure it all counts, it all adds up. So I think that's probably a part of it, or was a part of it. So yeah, I'm interested to just get to work over the next 2 weeks and just kind of ramp that up. I mean, crazy enough, these drugs are so amazing that obviously I kept moving, but even with me eating, the amount of calories I ate, I still lost a pound. In the grand scheme of everything, I still lost a pound, this week, which is amazing to me, because I am still just, in week 19 now, week 19, and I'm down 55 pounds. So that's still amazing. 17% of body weight. Some people, and obviously in the trial, the trial that we've now discovered, that the head-to-head trial between Wegovy and Zepbound, with Zepbound is at 20.2%. Wegovy is 13.7. So still, Zepbound is far superior. And still the fact that it for me to lose a pound, with everything that I just mentioned, is still amazing. It's still absolutely amazing. So I guess I probably would have, even if I was taking Wegovy, probably lost somewhere around, because I lost 1.1 pounds, somewhere around a half a pound. So yeah, these drugs are just absolutely amazing. So I would still, if I'm you, encourage anybody that's struggling with obesity to just, take the leap of faith and hop on, the journey. And I think, it'll do wonders. It'll be interesting when that retatrutide actually comes in, hits the market, because with that being slated at 24% weight loss, I feel like it probably has the potential for people to lose 28% of their weight. So anytime you can get in the 20s, because at least from, I guess, Dr. Dan and some of the other people I've listened to and I kind of respect, they kind of consider the super responders to be those that lose around 25% or more, So like I said, I'm at 17%. So I'm pretty close, So another 7%, and then I think I'll be able to, or 8%, I'll be able to kind of claim that, And it's not so much about being able to claim super responder or anything of that nature, but I just think that with all the work that's put in, it's nice to feel successful and accomplished and get healthy at the same time. So my goal, like I said, is to lose 100 pounds or at least 30% of my body weight. I feel like I'll be a lot healthier at that overweight category and not obese. Whatever happens, happens. But yeah, so I felt like that was interesting. The fact that I had some of that food noise come back, it made me feel, validified in the fact that I decided to go, up to that 10 milligram. And like I said, I'm not really trying to go farther than that. Some might say, well, you just barely, haven't even hit 20 weeks yet, and you had 10 milligrams. So what's to say by the time you at, 60 weeks, that you won't be on, let's say, 15? Well, I mean, I don't know that, but that's not my plan, because once I get to a certain weight, I would like to titrate down and just utilize, those lifestyle changes. So because I think that's kind of where it's at. It's more so like the lifestyle changes that we have to kind of ensure that we keep up with, even if it's just walking, to ensure that we kind of stay on that, path to success. But it's not something that's going to be straightforward and wins every week. Even though I feel like I'm still winning, even losing a pound a week. I think it's kind of crazy if I was to say I wasn't, because there's some people that go weeks without losing, So I'm still grateful that I'm still losing, in spite of. So this is another terrific week. So there's that. Obviously, I've seen, in the news a lot with Mochi, with the continued lawsuits and just the people, looking at the fact that Compound will be stopped in less than a week now. For the most part, there'll still be compounded pharmacies, and compounded drugs sold, but just nowhere near on the scale that it was. And that's more like 503A that has the specialized people that have issues that are getting, special concoctions or cocktails, I like to call them, for different things like nausea and stuff like that, that will still be able to get their drugs. But it won't be on the scale of what we've seen as of late or over the last few years, because they can't mass produce specialty cocktails. So, best of luck to everyone that actually, is trying to start the journey. And I hope that, Lilly goes ahead and drop the prices. I really do. With Novo Nordisk CEO stepping away, I can't really call it when it comes to what Wegovy, where Wegovy might end up, especially with the whole deal with the CVS Caremark. So I don't know. But I do think that Lilly may lower those prices. I think they might, I think they might actually want to end up being the hero in all of this. Like they say over there on the downsized channel. Because I think that I do believe that. I think that they can be the hero in all this and go ahead and drop the prices and make it available for all those that want it and corner the market. And they can blow. They've already beat in their latest quarter. They already beat Novo by several $1 billion. So I think that they can go ahead and blow them out the water if they go ahead and drop those prices. So I'm hoping that they do, so that way the compounded situation can come to a halt and we can go ahead and for those that are 503B, where the problems are. Because like I said, 503A, they may still have an out, like I said, for forever, and they may be able to continue to, produce medication. In fact, I know they will, but for 503B that can't, and those that are using that, like I said, I really do pray that we do lower those prices, so that way whoever needs it can get it, because these medications should be available to everyone. And then with the whole Rite Aid bankruptcy thing upon us in the next, I want to say, 2 weeks or not even, that bankruptcy, going full-fledged in June, there'll be a lot of shifting with a lot of Rite Aid customers migrating to your local Walgreens. So that's going to be, you know, a big deal too, you know, for communities. So hopefully everyone's, you know, just prepared. So I would say govern yourself accordingly so that way you can keep taking your medicine. So above all, just make sure you keep taking that shot, you know, stay on top of your nutrition, and just go ahead and make sure that those lifestyle, you know, modifications are in full effect so you can lose what you need to lose. If you actually are successful and lucky enough, and I like to say luck, but you've worked hard enough to end up, you know, in that maintenance situation, I wish the best of luck to those people too, because I feel like that's another part of the journey where, you know, I've heard is kind of difficult. So in my mind, I feel like, you know, I just want to, I'd love to get there, and it's a good problem to have, you know, to actually try to, you know, figure out maintenance. I already know in my mind, just from everything that I saw, you still need to take your shot, you know, so that's what my plan is, you know, if you know, well, when I'm successful enough to get more than 100 pounds down and I start looking at ways to maintain, in my mind, it is to continue to take my shot, even if it is at a lower dose, and continue to, you know, work out where I can to sustain what it is that I worked hard, you know, to do over the months that I did. So, you know, please, like I said, always like, subscribe, share my video, let people know, you know, it's a good channel, good place to, you know, come visit and kind of learn about my particular journey. There's a lot more news I would like to share, but you know, I try to like keep it at the journey because I'm in the midst of the journey, and I try to meet people where they are, and knowing that some people haven't even started yet. So some of the things that may be repetitive to others, you know, is like a breath of fresh air, and you know, just, you know, learning to those who have not yet started the journey. You know, so I think we still have something to offer there, because I still go back and watch some videos over and over and over again, you know, so I know some people that are just starting can actually benefit from things that we're saying. I mean, we have a lot of channels that are, you know, working on the late breaking news and things of that nature, because I love to sit and kind of read some of that stuff, but everybody's not there. You know, some people are, you know, just really worried about their next week, you know, sticking to the journey and just trying to keep that motivation so that way they can keep taking their shot and keep on, you know, sticking to their diets, because I know that, you know, every week is different. You got holidays, you got family. It's a lot to fight, you know, a lot of temptation, you know, with the, you know, different foods be based on the different holidays that come about, and, you know, things that come up, and then you get outside the norm, and it's a lot to navigate, you know, for those that are starting. And I mean, technically, obviously, I'm still at the beginning of my journey, because if it's a 72-week, it's a lifestyle, it's a lifelong thing. But just as far as the trial period of the drug, you know, the 72 weeks, you know, I'm still in the very beginning, you know, because I have, you know, more than 40 weeks, you know, more than 40 weeks to go, you know, with this thing. So that's why I still like to talk about my week to week and the weigh-ins and, you know, things of that nature. So, you know, like I said, you know, just please, you know, continue to like, subscribe, and, you know, let people know that my channel is here. And if they would like to, you know, subscribe to the channel, I'd be, you know, more than grateful. And, you know, like I always like to, you know, end my videos, we're in it together. Later.